Hey everybody, Boomhauer69 here, and today I'm going to do a little update video about this little yellow solar kit part here. I know I've done other update videos about it, and you're probably all getting kind of sick of that, like, oh, why don't you review other stuff? Well, I will later on, but what products that I actually use, I do want to, from time to time on this channel, kind of do some updates about them and stuff, just to let you know how well they're still working, and so that way you people can make the decision, is this a good product or bad, good product to buy or bad, or stay away from it kind of thing. Now, here's the instruction booklet to this little solar kit right here. This is the solar home system. This was a little mini solar kit, lighting kit that I bought off from Wish.com, and I'll put a link in the description so you can get a updated pricing and stuff. And I noticed when typing like solar light kits and stuff, I noticed this little yellow kit, it pops up all over Wish.com. This thing right here is flooding the Wish Chinesium market and stuff. But this little kit here I bought, I paid around maybe like $48 and something. I think it was around $30 for the actual device, and then with tax and shipping and all that stuff, it was around $48 US and stuff. So roughly around $50 there. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the light bulbs or a solar panel with me, but here's what they would look like, because I simply have those set up in my house. I got the lights, 2 light bulbs set up in my living room, and then 1 in my bathroom, and then I got the solar panel on the roof of my house to help get more solar and stuff, because I did have it in the ground, laying on the ground, but it's a lot harder for the sun for it to catch sunlight, the panel, because I got trees and buildings blocking it, so I just laid it on the lower part of my roof to help collect more sunlight and stuff. Now, as far as how do I got it anchored on my roof, I just got the panel laying on top of the roof where this little panel, where if the wind was to knock it down, it would land on my cement patio and probably bust it to smithereens, since it's not anchored down or anything where a good high windstorm would have to come along and knock it over and possibly damage it, depending on which way it blows. If it blows a certain way, it could land on my cement pad out back, my cement patio, and bust it all to smithereens. Or if I'm lucky, it would just fall and knock over and land on the grass, and the only thing would probably happen then is the cord would simply the DC cord on it would simply just break off, where I'd have to resolder the wire back on it and stuff, That could be a possibility, but there's what the lights look like when it came with. Now, this set I bought, because they make one where you get one of these where you have the option of getting one with just 2 light bulbs or 3. I went with the one that had 3. Obviously, they're using the same instructions and packaging and boxing, and they just basically throw you a battery bank with some 3 DC ports on it and an extra bulb, where they're just basically using the same instructions and boxes says for both the 2 or 3 setup to save my money and stuff. But on Wish.com, I got this. The solar panel that comes with it, I think is 3 watts, if I remember right. Solar panel, 6 volts, 6V, 3 watts right there. This is with all the information there, you can see. I noticed since I use 2 light bulbs with this, I usually when I'm running this, I'll run 2 light bulbs at the same time, and I'm getting a 10-hour run time. Like here it says if you run it with just 1 light bulb at a time, just one on, you'll get a 20-hour run time, which I don't know if that's true or not, because I'm always just running at 2 light bulbs, and for the most part, I've been getting close around 10-hour or time, you know. Usually what I do is, when charging this, I put it, like it says, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Usually around here, about in the summertime anyways, in the morning around 8 a.m. or so, the sun's popping out. And so usually what I do is I get up early in the morning when the sun starts to pop out, and then I charge up. Basically, my brother has to work, and I take him to work. So usually when he's got to get up for work, I usually plug this into the solar panel. And then when I get home from my second shift job, because I work a second shift job, usually when I get home from work, this thing will be fully charged and ready to go. So it's one of the things where I set it and forget it kind of thing on the charging. And so far it's been doing really good on the lighting. For a basic small little solar kit, this little $50 El Cheapo lighting kit's been doing alright. The one thing I did notice is on the light bulbs themselves, the wiring is cheap, where they kind of, if you're wiggling the wires around and stuff while this is plugged in, you know, you're shaking this and wiggling around, the lights will flicker and short out. So you want to keep that in mind when using those. You don't want to bump it too much, or you'll be, causing the lights to turn off and flicker and stuff. Now, the only thing is, like I said before, I don't like about this is where they had positioned the actual switches to the bulbs. The switches are way up by the light bulb, where if you got them like me hanging in a high place, you would have to get a ladder or some sort of step ladder or a chair or something to reach up and turn them off, and where it renders the switch is useless. But if you're in a tent, and you're camping and you're using this for camping purposes, then you ain't got nothing to really worry about as far as the height and stuff, so keep that in mind. Me, I use this kit as a backup lighting situation for when the power goes out. I will turn this on and have lighting to see, I like to use this first before I use all my DeWalt lights, because I have no way of recharging DeWalt batteries in a power outage situation. I don't own any solar kit that will allow me to do it. This thing obviously is not going to do it, and so I don't have no way to recharge up batteries for an electrical power outage situation. I do use my DeWalt batteries lights in a power outage situation if I know my power's only going to be out for maybe a couple of days or so, and I charge them. I obviously don't, because since I like to save those for last resort, just in case, or save the batteries for when I need to maybe cut a tree branch down. I need to get out one of my wood cutting tools. I have a cordless DeWalt sawzall, and if I gotta use that to maybe cut a branch down, maybe a tree fell down or something, in case of a storm and stuff. So I try to, like I did back in August, we had a nice storm that I call it the storm of the century, that knocked out power for about 4 or 5 days or so. And I was using this as lighting, and then using my DeWalt batteries to use on the power tools to cut up the little sticks and branches and help clear brush and stuff, and do my part and things. So yeah. Now, the only thing I notice on this is the wiring on the light bulbs. When you shake them and stuff, the wiring will cause the lights to flicker and stuff. So that's the only negative thing I have to say about this kit and light bulbs. The wiring, you can tell, is of the cheaper quality. But all around this thing, you can tell it's of the cheaper build. It only costs around $40 to $50. I'll put the Wish link in the description where you can see a more up-to-date pricing on it. So this only cost me, and that's including tax and shipping from Wish.com, around $48 to $50 US, which is what this thing cost me. But besides that little issue with the light bulb wiring and shorting out when you bump the wiring and stuff, and the position of the actual bulb switches, because each individual light bulb has its own on and off switch, which And besides the replacement of those switches, they're it's the only two negative things I gotta say about it. But besides that, as long as you, on the side here, this is where you plug in your solar panel, and then right up here is where you would plug in your light bulbs. It does have a USB port on it. I did, in a power outage situation, use this to charge up my cell phone because I had an issue where my car battery went to poop and I couldn't use my car to charge up my cell phone, so I had to resort to this. And it did charge up my small little cheap $20 cell phone I use as one of those cheap little $20 trap phones that you can get real cheap at the dollar store. And I was able to use that. I was able to charge that up with this, and what I did was I charged I turned the cell phone off, and then I plugged it in, and it did charge up the battery. But the only thing is, being this is such a small kit, a small battery inside here, I think in reality, I think these might be just basically a couple rechargeable, like basic AAA battery, AA batteries or something. They're not. The batteries inside of this is not big or super quality. So when I got done basically charging up the cell phone, when I had to use this at night, I couldn't use it because the battery took in practically all the battery juice. And one thing I noticed, and it even says it somewhere in the instruction little pamphlet here, it says when you're charging this in direct sunlight during the day, you cannot use this USB port. Like some devices, you can use it while it's charging. Some devices, some solar kits out there, while it's charging under the on solar, you can still use the product. But this one here, you cannot use the USB port while you have this plugged into the solar panel and trying to charge this on the solar panel at the same time. You cannot do it. You have to wait until the battery is fully charged. Then you can plug in your USB-B device and charge up your cell phone like I did, or whatever small USB device and stuff. And trust me, with this little kit, it better be a very small USB device that you're trying to recharge, because this thing doesn't have a whole lot. If you got one of those fancy, like high-end iPhones or Samsung fancy Galaxy, fancy Android phones, I would not recommend trying to use this to charge up those cell phones, because I'd be afraid this little cheap kit would possibly damage the battery inside them. Now, obviously, with my little $20 one little flip phone, I wasn't too worried about the battery and stuff getting damaged. Even because I just simply shut it off, plugged it in, and it did all right. But I know some more higher end cell phones and stuff I would recommend, and higher end USB devices, I would say no to the USB port on this. I still say this is more of a gimmick or anything. To me, this is more just a decoration piece on this little device. But as far as just using this as like basically a flashlight device, it's good for that, and I have very good luck with it and stuff. Again, I'll show you on here, on and off. This is your main on and off switch. When you have it on, the screen light will always be on to let you know how well it's charged up, and how bright that is tells you how good your battery is and stuff. So this green light is always on to let you know, hey, this is on. And then over here, this red LED right here, this red light emitting diode LED, will let you know that it is charging. That's why they have the little picture of the sun. And then over here, to let you know it's on, that's why they have the picture of the light bulb. So on the side here, you plug in your solar panel, that little red LED will be flashing to let you know that it's fully charged. And then when it's done charging, it will obviously stay on, or it will automatically turn itself off when it's fully charged and stuff. So, because what I do with this is, in the morning, I go to work, plug in the solar panel, in the morning when I take my bread to work, I make sure to plug in the solar panel, and then when the sun comes up, it's charging all day, and then when I get home from work, I unplug it from the solar panel, and then I have lighting. Now, as far as like, can you charge this battery bank up and then go store it somewhere, and then like 3, 4, 5 days later pull it out, and then it would be ready to go without having to charge it or anything? Not likely, because I think I think from what I noticed, if I'm correctly, if my mind's correct, I think after about maybe like 3, 5 days after a while, just this sitting around not getting any use, the battery just somehow drains on its own, so and stuff. So it kind of drains on its own. Where if you a little bit, I notice like after a while, sometimes when I just have this sitting around and not using it, I'll go to try to turn it on, and sometimes the battery will be dead where I'll have to recharge it. But basically, after every use, if you just leave it plugged into the solar panel and let it charge, it will collect sunlight. So basically, as long as you got this plugged into your solar panel when not in use, I think you'd be all right to be able to store this as long as the solar panel that comes with it is in direct sunlight. You'd be fine. You know, it's one of the things. You just gotta leave it plugged in on the solar panel to keep the battery charged up all the time. Like, you can't just unplug it and then go throw this in your storage shelf somewhere, and then 2 months later pull it out, and I don't think you're gonna have any juice where you have to recharge it up and stuff. So keep that in mind. But besides some few little quirks about it, as a basic cheap little kit, it's all right. You know, if you're somebody that's camping and you ain't got a whole lot of money and you want them for something to use kind of camping, you know, this would be perfect for you. If you're just looking for a basic little light kit for camping, or you're like me and you just need a little basic little solar kit with some little 190 lumens light bulbs. I'll show you again on the back with all the details about. There's all the information about what everything is and stuff, and all the specs. But if you're just like me, like I use this in a power outage situation and different things, if you just, you're going to be out for a couple of days, and right in a row you're going to have beautiful bright sunlight, you'll be all right. I even notice on even the cloudy days, the solar panel on this, I'm surprised works as good as it does, because there's been times where this doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight, where the solar's not pulling in a whole lot of sunlight because it's a cloudy day or something, and the sun's still trying to pop through. This thing will still charge and stuff. There's been some kind of not so many bright sunny days where this kit has charged up and was still charging, doing things. The panel was still picking up some solar rays and charging and stuff. So, but yeah. But if you're just looking for a basic little kit for camping, or you're going to be out of power for a few days, and you don't care about having a super high-end solar kit, you're not, and you know what you're getting yourself into, like I did when I purchased this. I knew it wasn't going to be a super high-end quality product. I knew it's going to be a little bit of a lower quality product. You're going to be all right. And so far, I'm satisfied with this little kit. I imagine probably maybe sometime next year or so, that's when this battery will probably crap out on me, or where I'll have to replace it and somebody get a whole new kit. But so far, I'm satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with it and don't have a whole lot of complaints about it. The only thing is, again, like I said before, the light switches and the wiring connecting to the light bulbs, you can tell is of the lower quality of sounding. But if you don't, while you're running the lights, if you don't bump this thing around much, you set it somewhere where it won't, where somebody won't knock it over and bump it a whole bunch of times, you don't got to worry about the lights flickering and on and off and stuff, As long as you just kind of don't touch the wiring while it's on, you'll be fine. But, because it does show its signs of, hey, I'm a cheapo product, but it's still going good. It's a fine little product. I would recommend it to people if you're looking for it. Again, like I said before, sometime I might get another one of these, you know, another one of these where I can have one charging up and then another one, you know, in use and stuff, in case I have those days where during the day I need light to see because it might be cloudy and not very, you know, real rainy and stuff. I'll have, you know, plenty of lighting and stuff and to see, you know, because obviously you're only getting, I run 2 light bulbs, so I'm only getting a 10-hour runtime on the battery, so keep that in mind when using this. Keep that in mind when you're using this. You're only getting about 10 to 20 hour runtime on the battery, depending on how many light bulbs you use. Now on the back here, it does show for like 3 light bulbs. Yeah, because they're just showing this instruction just talk about two light bulbs, because obviously to cut the cost to make it cheap and affordable, to cut down on the price, they're just using the same instruction for both kits. The one I got, again, comes with 3 light bulbs and you plug it in here, and so, yeah, but besides that, if you know how to kind of conserve your power, what I would recommend doing, which I don't do, but if you're somebody that lives in an area where you don't got a whole lot of light, a whole lot of sunlight on so many days, and you got this thing fully charged to the max, what I would do is, if you know you can get away with it, just run 1 light bulb for maybe 10 hours and then shut it off at night, you know, shut it off, and then maybe the next night run it again for another 10 hours, or even maybe run it for 5 hours, shut it off, not worry about it, and maybe just sit in the dark, and if this is all you got, and like me, and then another night have, you know, 5 hours runtime. So obviously, if you want more juice and more money, you'd obviously get a way better kit and stuff. No, that's my future goal, is to get a 10 times better setup. I am looking at, in the near future, of possibly getting at least a 100-watt setup, something that could that would allow me to recharge my DeWalt lights, so that way I could, in a power outage situation, be able to recharge my DeWalt batteries and have lighting that way. Because as of right now, this little kit here is my only rechargeable solar light setup I got. I don't have anything else and stuff. So in a power outage situation, if all my DeWalt batteries are dead and stuff, if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have no lighting whatsoever. And this definitely, in a power outage, saved my butt. And it's a good little basic kit, you know. But just remember, if you're purchasing this, know what you're getting yourself into, because it's one of those kits. Make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Be warned, it is of the cheaper quality. It's not a super high quality kit, because obviously if it was, it would be like a $200, $300 kit, and this was only a little $50 kit, so it's of the cheaper quality. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing it on Wish.com. I'll put a link in the description for the videos I did on this before, and I'll also put the Wish.com link in the description too, so you can check out what they're currently selling these for. I'm thinking about getting another one of these, just to have 2 on hand. I may later on, but I haven't decided yet. I'm kind of in limbo about that and stuff, and debating, do I really need to, but yeah. So hope you like this video. Again, this is still working good. It's still doing its thing. The solar panels are working so good. The light bulbs still work okay, and the USB port, last time I used it, did work, but I don't use the USB port at all on this. I'm just using this basically as a flashlight, so I'm not using it as a power bank to try to charge up electronic devices, because, again, like I said, I feel like this USB port on here is just a gimmick. I say it's more for decoration than anything else. I just, again, use it as like basically my flashlight lighting setup. So yeah, if you like this sort of content, give this video a thumbs up. give it a thumbs down, comment your thoughts below and stuff. And in case you're wondering, again, I'm only making this video for people who are seeing my older videos on this and then wondering if this is still going good. I imagine I'll get a couple years out of this little device and then I'll have to basically junk the battery and probably go get another one if I want another one at the time and stuff. So comment below your thoughts and everything. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. And share this video with everyone you know and help me, Boomhauer69, get out there so I can make more videos and other types of content as well on my YouTube channel. Besides product reviews, I do like doing product review videos, but I also want to do other content as well on this channel. So hope you all have a good day, and thank you for watching Boomhauer69 channel.